The moment the lawyer opened the envelope, my world shattered into pieces I didn't even know existed. Your grandfather, he left everything to you, she said, her voice trembling with disbelief. I froze. My parents, the people who had turned their backs on me all my life, were standing right there, their faces twisted, not with joy, but with shock and greed. For years, I had been invisible to them. My birthday cards went unanswered. My achievements, from school awards to first job promotions, were ignored. Yet here I was, holding a fortune they had assumed would never exist. And now, they were looking at me as if I were some magical genie who had suddenly appeared to grant their selfish wishes. They tried to hide it at first. Polite congratulations, awkward smiles, murmurs about family obligations. But I saw the hunger in their eyes, the way they calculated every possibility, how to get their hands on the wealth that wasn't theirs. At dinner that night, I watched them dance around me with fake warmth. "We're so proud of you," my mother said, her tone sugar-sweet. My father nodded enthusiastically, his eyes scanning my reactions like a hawk. But I was done pretending. The first move came the next morning. A phone call from my father. "We need to discuss this estate. It's complicated." I smiled. "Actually, it's simple. Everything is in my name. You get nothing." His silence was deafening. Then came the threats veiled as concerned advice. "Think about the family name," he said. "You can't just ignore us. You owe us respect." Respect? After years of abandonment? I laughed, a sound so sharp it made my mother flinch. "The respect I owe goes both ways. You ignored me, laughed at me, and dismissed me. Now it's my turn." What followed was chaos. My parents tried lawyers, manipulations, emotional blackmail. But I had a secret weapon my grandfather had left me. Knowledge. Every loophole, every clause, every stipulation in the will was precise. They couldn't touch a penny. Every attempt they made only exposed their desperation. Then came the party, a public display of their humiliation. They had invited distant relatives, neighbors, and even family friends, expecting me to play along, to share my inheritance. But I had other plans. As they whispered, schemed, and tried to charm me in front of everyone, I calmly announced that I had donated a substantial portion of the estate to charity and had invested the rest in a business that would employ hundreds from our town. Shock painted their faces. Mouths agape, eyes wide, they realized the fortune they coveted wouldn't be in their hands. Not a single dollar. Every eye at the party turned to me, cheering, applauding my decision. My parents invisible, forgotten. I had won, but it wasn't just about money. It was about proving my worth, showing the world and myself that I wasn't a child to be ignored or underestimated. The revenge wasn't cruel or petty. It was complete, elegant, irreversible, and deeply satisfying. Weeks later, I watched from my new penthouse as my parents tried to salvage their reputation. They were trapped in a web of their own making, humiliated by the very community they had counted on to support their schemes. Meanwhile, I thrived, building a life of independence, respect, and influence, exactly the life they had denied me for so long. And every time they called, every time they tried to reconnect, I smiled. Because the real inheritance wasn't the money. It was my freedom, my triumph, and the knowledge that I had finally claimed what was rightfully mine.